Okay, I would like to hear about your Muse, your tuition center.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
yes, the
Tell
study
us.
lab.
Yeah, study lab. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to call it an institute because it's really small,
Yeah.
and I'd like to call it a study lab because I don't want kids to come and feel as if they're in a classroom.
Yeah.
So we have a very relaxed atmosphere. We do reading practices, writing practices, and grammar. So the only class setup comes when we teach grammar, but all the other time it's almost like a game. So even writing practices, it's like the more you write, the more gifts you get. The more you read, the more we reward you. So it's individual practices. So me and my assistants, we get the kids and we go to them one by one and we make sure they're making progress. So it doesn't have a classroom atmosphere. It's more like individual. I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know what to call it. So I call it a study lab.
Yeah, I think a lab is the right way of saying it. You lots of
Okay.
experiments and lots of activities there. I was telling Amma about interviewing you today, and she was very
Ah,
happy.
right.
She always says, "Oh, and the Buddhisali punna." So that means.
Ah. My
Uh,
grandma is always reminding me of Madam Janet
yeah.
because the medicine that she taught her is like it really works for her and she's trying it every day.
Okay.
I don't remember what she called that tree, the tree that was just outside her house.
Uh huh.
So she steams it and she drinks the water every day and she's like always reminding me of
Okay.
Sir John and
Yeah.
Madam Janet.
Yeah,
She's
yeah,
thanking.
yeah. Even since you're talking about your students' lab and your methodology is more free, and you are asking them to do something and learn instead of what is happening in today's classroom. So,
Mhm.
what do you think of today's education system? When you think of education system, what
Yeah,
what are the things you should change?
I never liked school, so I never liked the educational system because it felt like kids were like confined to a space. They were not allowed to think out of the box. They were always like forced to sit in one place and listen to the teacher, which was very depressing. I think most of my depression, my childhood depression, came from school. I hated the experience except for my English classes because I never understood why, like, mathematics is compulsory, for example. Uh, and I've never. I've never understood why I needed chemistry in my life. We did chemistry, I've never used chemistry in my life, and mathematics, all this complicated stuff. And It was like even though we were good in one field, they made us look like idiots.
Yeah.
Because in math class, I always got shots from all of my maths teachers.
Okay.
So there used to be a teacher who used to hit me with a plastic bottle. He had it just for me, and he'll just knock it on my head. You
Okay.
stupid, you dumb, you idiot, you don't understand anything. I never understood that. I'm like, I'm good at stuff, but not mathematics.
Yeah.
I think making everything compulsory is really messing with the heads of kids.
Okay.
Kids feel stupid for no reason, even if
Yeah.
they're like geniuses.
Yeah.
I don't understand that part of the educational system.
I remember the video that you made. You remember you made the video in Al Bukhari regarding this, particularly what you are talking about. When
Yeah,
one of the students couldn't do much in the class and she goes up and she dies. You remember?
yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
can
don't much.
can you
I
explain? Yeah,
remember.
Dolma Nimba. Yeah, she
Yeah,
can you
exactly.
explain that? Can you explain that experience?
I think that was our personal experience, what we felt during assignments. Because I remember even during our foundation, mathematics was compulsory. We had to study calculus,
Yeah.
and I felt like the dumbest person on the planet. And that's what I wanted to do at that point.
Yeah.
I felt that like so many times. I just felt like it would be easier to just jump off a building than
Yeah.
studying this calculus and having to prove my hometown that I'm not a dumb person.
Yeah.
It was a lot of pressure. I think kids go through it every day. And All these kids killing themselves, that they're just dying for nothing. It's
Yeah.
all because of the pressure.
Hmm.
I think kids should be allowed to study what they are good at or what they really like, and that way it will be better for the world, for the entire world.
But do you think this will change?
Of course, I think after this quarantine period, I think everything is going to change. Uh, People will stop doing the work that they hate, and I think kids will refuse to go to school and will ask to be homeschooled,
Yeah.
and I think to some extent it will change.
Talking about the lockdown, uh,
Mm-hmm.
what is the experience of the parents and children, not only at your home, at the homes that
Uh-huh.
you hear about? What is the
Yeah.
dynamics? What are the dynamics going on?
Uh, I I think parents are having a very hard time because some are not used to having their kids at home.
Yeah.
They always dump them in a class, a tuition class, or they get dumped in a school. So I think for the first time they're realizing that how naughty their kids are, because usually parents try to put the blame on teachers
Yeah.
for like, my kid is good, my kid is perfect, it's your fault, your teaching style is bad. So I think those parents are coming to a realization about reality of their kids,
Okay.
and and I think it's also a good bonding experience for parents to understand the kids and the kids to understand who their parents are.
Okay.
It's all good. I haven't been in touch with anyone, any of my neighbors, so honestly, I have no idea.
Okay.
But I think that's the case.
Good. So now we have come to a segment called question segment. You can
Okay.
question me. Okay.
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 So you can ask me 5 questions.
First question, sir, for you is, if you had not chosen the path of a lecturer, what profession would you choose? Like, what profession would you think would best suit you?
Again, writer, because
Right.
I remember when I just finished my schooling and I went to a workshop before
Okay.
I had to go to the college. It was a summer camp. So there was
Mm-hmm.
an summer camp for 10 days. There were many activities. So one of the activities where the facilitator asked me to bring the one most important thing that we like, and that has to
Mm-hmm.
be brought and placed, and we have to make a design. And I still
Okay.
remember I was only let's say 17 or 18 then. I brought a
Mm-hmm.
pen,
Oh,
I brought a pen, and I told him why I had to bring that. I said I want to be a writer.
nice.
Yeah, but I have written a few things in Tamil and also in English
Huh?
for the teachers and
Mm-hmm.
for the social workers, but not. I mean, it was every time when you write in different ages. No, it has its own levels. So.
Right.
I really want to write one big novel.
Mm-hmm.
I've been thinking about the concept of the novel for many times.
So the second question for you, sir, is, would you prefer living in a high-end neighborhood, let's say a city, or would you prefer living in a very rural area, uh, like either a beach or a mountain? Which one do you prefer and why?
Okay, I would like to say mountain area or beach, but
Uh-huh.
what I found about me is wherever I am, whether I'm in a crowd or whether I'm in a shopping mall or whether I'm at a beach,
Mm-hmm.
I'm always out of that place. I don't.
Stay in one place.
No, I don't belong to that place. I don't belong to that
Oh,
place. I always
okay.
stand out and
Mm-hmm.
look at me in that place. So I can, if I'm in a city,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not taken up by that crowd.
And,
I always,
uh-uh.
I can take it as a beach, and if I'm in a beach,
Okay.
I can take it as a crowded place, but I always feel alone. Like context around me doesn't affect me much,
I see.
but
That's
I
nice.
love nature.
Nice. So the third question is, uh, out of all the areas that you have, all the countries you have visited, I know you have traveled a lot. You have traveled to so many countries. Which country or which place? It doesn't have to be Sri Lanka, but which country or which place did you like the most that you want to travel again and again? Like, what was that place?
Um, Actually, we had a plan to come to Sri Lanka this month of May. We have already booked the ticket because we really planned it.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the places where we wanted to come.
Okay.
But we went to Cambodia and Vietnam some 2 years before. We
Okay.
like the food there. We like the place and people.
Mm-hmm.
But Taiwan is one of the places our family went and we stayed there for
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks. Taiwan
Mm-hmm.
people were really friendly. They were really friendly. They
Okay.
came. I have a friend also there, so maybe I may like to visit there. I haven't seen
Taiwan.
Taiwan. Yes, yeah. I
Mm.
haven't seen much of Africa. I would like to see
Uh-huh.
Africa also.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I would like to ask about Alosta again.
Uh-huh.
Like, how would you describe that experience? Like being there,
Okay.
meeting us.
Yeah.
How did you like it? Did you like it, or
Okay.
did you regret coming to
Uh,
Alosta?
no. The first thing I liked was the multiversity. I don't see it as a university. It's a uh, multiversity, the diversity of people, the children.
Mm-hmm.
So I always liked the diversity of the students.
Yeah.
Now that I have got lots of children, lots of friends because I was there. But one thing I learnt there is about Islam.
Yeah.
Know the values of Islam, and when I was in India, we were not
Mm-hmm.
exposed to much of knowing about Islam. So there
True.
I came to know more about Islam as a religion, as a way of life. Other than that, my wife liked the place because it's more country like it's a village like, it's not much of the city. She also likes more
True.
nature. We had a more peaceful life there, two of us. uh, we we had enough time to be together and go for walk, and
Mm-hmm.
this is what I recall. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah,
And thank you. And the last question is
yeah,
like, I know you have a lot of hobbies, and you're a very active person who is very involved in creative activities. So I would like to know the top 3 habits you would like to recommend us, like the rest of us, your students. What are the top 3 habits that you've always followed that you would like to recommend us?
okay. Immediately, the first thing that comes to my mind is documentation. Any kind
Uh,
of documentation, because we are happy. The human being is happy when he or she is creative.
yeah.
In every creative things, even in every creation,
Mm-hmm.
the one who is involved is happy. So
Yeah.
documentation, I have been doing it. That's not a hobby. It's like more of myself. Now, like the one thing that we did, like my story in our university.
Yeah.
No other documentation is there about the
Student life.
students' life. Even when after all of you left, when new administration came and they wanted me to be there, when they searched for some documentation, this book was referred for the activities of the student's life. So I always I have been doing that. So not only as a students, even for ordinary human beings. See, every community that has documented its experience always have lived happily. Like for example, you take Bible or Quran or any other book. If someone has not documented it, that cannot be that cannot give direction to people.
Exactly. Yes.
So even in archaeologies, people are looking for some documentation of some kind in somewhere under the mud. So
Yes.
documentation is a hobby. I think in many forms. It can be like what you do, or writing, or audiovisual, or documenting.
True.
I think that covers instead of going for 3.
Okay. So no other hobbies. It's
No,
just documentation.
this is the concept. This is the concept. You can take hobbies out of it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sure. Excellent. So like YouTube videos, writing, journaling, all that.
Yes. Yeah. Good.
Thank you. Thank you so much
Good.
for answering my questions.
Yeah, it was very interesting questions. Yeah, I think because the interviews, like asking questions, is very difficult. You have to ask the relevant question, and it has to be more meaningful and bring the soul out of the person.
Exactly. Yes.
That's good.
Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Yeah. Okay. Take care. Okay. Bye.
Thank you.
Okay.